This is the miniature model of our hammock. A good size for a real-life hammock would be about 2.5 meters or 3 meters length, and maybe 1 meter or 1.5 meters width. I'm going to take some Grosgrain polyester ribbon, and we will first we're going to cut 4 of these. Okay, so this one should go right on the edge. This one should go right on the edge, and the space between this one and this one should be just enough for your stick to cover it. We're going to fold it later, so it will be just enough so you can fold it over the stick. Next, what we're going to do is sew one piece here, which will be twice the length of the blanket. So it should be something like that. 2 of those. We will sew one here, and then another one here. You know what, let's add another one in the middle. And of course you can add, for extra strength, you can add one more here and one more here. The more of these you put in, the stronger your hammock will be. Just a couple of words about the sewing machine. This is a Sailrite Ultrafeed, an industrial walking foot sewing machine. And this is the kind of sewing machine that you're going to need for this type of project, where we're talking about multiple layers of fabric that we have to sew. And if you will use a polyester webbing, this will even more be the case, where you need a very powerful sewing machine that will be able to penetrate all those layers. Now, if you're new to sewing and you're not sure which sewing machine to buy, I highly recommend that you watch my video, Sailrite Ultrafeed versus the Singer Heavy Duty. I will leave a link to that video in the description. Okay, so we are back from the sewing machine. We have all these nicely sewed, like that. What we're going to do is flip it over and then line it up like this and sew it here. And this is where the first stick is going to go. Same thing here. We're going to line it up like this. And sew it here. And this is where the second stick is going to go. Like that. Okay, so we sew it here. And then we've got these three that we're going to sew here and all the way to here. Here we're going to cut, same thing here, cut here, sew this, cut here, sew this. This is our miniature hammock. Top side, bottom side is identical. We can see that the blanket is sandwiched between the ribbons, and it is so strong it can even hold an elephant. So this is one of the first attempts in making the hammock and hanging it. And I want to show you some of the different mistakes that I have done so that you can avoid them when you make your own hammock. So first of all, the broomstick that I used here, it's just not strong enough. You can see that it already started bending. So I would recommend not using a broomstick, or you can reinforce the broomstick somehow. You can open up this and insert another rod inside like I did to make it stronger. Okay. If you could find a way to make another opening here in the center, for example, and then have another strap pulling in this direction towards there, then it will give it a lot of support, and you won't have to worry that much that the broomstick will bend. And if you add one more here and then one more there, it will even give it some more strength. So what is the story with all these ribbons? How did I come into possession of all these ribbons? Well, a while back I began to develop a new product, which is a belt with a seat belt buckle, military grade, very, very strong. It's got a survival module, fully detachable. Knife, compass, whistle. Now, in order to make these in many, many different patterns and colors, I went ahead and purchased all these ribbons. Gemini, Zodiac, cartoon characters, flames, Dreamtime, ayahuasca, Oriental, this is called a Grosgrain ribbon. It's very, very slim, probably about 0.1 millimeters, but surprisingly, it's very, very strong. I mean, even if you wanted, you wouldn't be able to rip it. And of course, the webbing, I mean, this is probably what they make seat belts out of, the same material. Very, very strong. So, to make the long story short, this product didn't take off for several reasons, and I was left with all these ribbons just waiting to be used in some other project. And then came the opportunity when I found this old blanket that I was just about to throw away, and I said, okay, why not reinforce the blanket with these straps and webbings and make a hammock. So that's the story behind the ribbons.